How's it going, everybody? Bernardo Silva, that's the topic of today's video. Bernardo Silva is a future Premier League Hall of Famer. He is a Premier League great. But before I continue with this introductory monologue about Bernardo Silva, please enjoy this training video that I did a couple weeks ago. Now, as I said before, he is a Premier League great. Looking at the players in the Hall of Fame and seeing the nominations, he exceeds a majority of all these players on the list in both talent and accolades. But let's look at the totality of his career. 2014 domestic treble with Benfica, including the League, the Portuguese Cup, and the League Cup. He won the League with Monaco in 2017, back when the French League was watchable. And in 2019, he was Portuguese Player of the Year, after winning the Nations League and having an unforgettable season with City after securing a historic domestic quadruple in one of the most prolific sides in Premier League history. In England, he was just magic. So pivotal in all of our 5 Premier League titles under Guardiola, as well as the 5 domestic cup trophies. And we obviously mustn't forget about his man-of-the-match performances against Bayern Munich and Real Madrid, as well as his UCL final assist to Rodri to seal a historic treble. Bernardo Silva is 30 years old this August, and his contract expires in June of 2026. He's an attacking midfielder with over 100 goals and 88 assists in just over 530 games in his illustrious career. Respectable numbers, if you ask me, but he is one of those players where talking about him just purely with numbers will not do him any justice. He is a workhorse off the ball and a magician on it. Bernardo Silva is a player that just won't be forgotten by any fan of this game, whether you are a fan of City, the Premier League, anybody. So that brings us to today. Bernardo Silva has a contract, as I said before, until 2026, June 30th to be exact, £50 million release clause. And according to City, according to multiple sources, City are not going to be budging on that £50 million release clause. And why should they? He's going to be 30 years old because of the advent of technology, new improvements, new coaching, multiple coaches, diet plans, everything. The longevity of a player's career has been exceeding that of the last 10, 15, 20 years tenfold. It's absolutely crazy. Players can play well in their primes until their mid-30s even, because Bernardo Silva, I'm not saying he's going to be sensational for the next 3, 4, 5 years, but I will probably be speaking for a vast majority of City fans. We want him to stay. We obviously want him to stay. He's going to be 30 years old, and to be honest, looking at the potential clubs that want him, obviously Saudi Arabia is an option for every single player. We're just going to have to deal with this until the end of time because of the money, because of everything like that. It's going to be an option. Do I think Bernardo Silva will be going to Saudi Arabia again? No. Look, you have to understand that these players, that playing football is their jobs and they have to provide for their families. So I'm not going to really judge a player for going to Saudi Arabia and, getting the bag and securing their future for their family and kids. I don't really have a problem with that. I have a problem with somebody like Gabri Veiga, who was an incredibly talented player. We wanted him. A lot of teams wanted him. Barcelona wanted him. I think a lot of Premier League teams wanted him. 21 years old, one of the biggest talents in world football at the time, like a year and a half ago, goes to Saudi Arabia. Again, as Cruz said in that comment, I think it was on Instagram, embarrassing. And that is embarrassing, okay? It should really be reserved for like 30-year-olds, 30-plus-year-olds. Sadio Mane, Neymar, Cristiano Ronaldo, just to name a few. Kessie, just to name a few players who are in their 30s, well past their prime, getting money. I can respect that. But Gabri Veiga, 21 years old, that's just ridiculous. Bernardo Silva is going to be 30 years old. So Saudi Arabia, we just talked about Saudi Arabia. Let's get them out of the picture. The second team that's on the radar is Paris Saint-Germain. Do I think he should be playing for Paris Saint-Germain? Look, Mbappe is going to be leaving. That's going to be a huge loss for Paris Saint-Germain. One of the best, if not the best players, if not the best player in world football right now, to a lot of people. Not to me, though. But I would say it's going to free up a lot of wages, definitely, with Mbappe's exit from Paris Saint-Germain, and they're definitely going to be needing to fill in the void. Dembele being the face of a football club with Champions League aspirations doesn't really sit well with me, no offense. I would say Bernardo Silva going to Paris Saint-Germain isn't likely. He has played in France already, so I don't think he would want to go back. Again, I'm not speaking for him. This is just my opinion to us as fans. And the biggest club, the biggest threat, if you will, to Bernardo Silva leaving is FC Barcelona. So, look, I don't have a problem with Barcelona. I respect Barcelona as a club, as an institution, one of the biggest clubs in world football. One of the biggest sporting organizations in the history of sports, even. Regardless of how they're performing right now, I'm absolutely robbed in the Champions League, in my opinion. That stupid penalty call just ruined the game, in my opinion. That was absolutely woeful. PSG got extremely, extremely lucky. But I would say going to Barcelona wouldn't be a smart choice, in my opinion. The reason is Gavi is coming back from injury. Pedri is looking to get some more games. They obviously have İlkay Gündoğan, Fermin Lopez. They have so many players in that midfield. Frenkie de Jong, just to name a few. They have so many players in that midfield. Bernardo Silva is not going to be getting a lot of games at Barcelona, not because he doesn't deserve it, but because there are a lot of talented players in there who have, been playing there for years now, and they definitely won't be keen on having Bernardo Silva come in. Is there a world where Bernardo Silva can come into FC Barcelona and another player leaves, like Rafinha, he leaves to PSG or some other team? That could work. But 100% be the best player at FC Barcelona. No disrespect to FC Barcelona, but because of the longevity and the career that Bernardo Silva has had, you have to give him respect. He is going to be the best player there. No disrespect to Lewandowski, but Bernardo Silva is closer to being in his prime to Lewandowski. Lewandowski is far out of his prime. Bernardo Silva just got out of it, but he's still at that top level, in my opinion. So Lamine Yamal, there's Rafinha, there's João Felix, there's Ferran Torres, even though I think they're probably going to sell him. Lewandowski, just to name a few. And they're definitely going to be getting some more players this summer. So I don't really see him playing too many games of Barcelona. That's why I'm a little bit skeptical of the decision, because, again, I don't know, there's so many hypotheticals here. Does he want to play right wing for Barcelona in that system? I'm not sure. There is João Cancelo there, so he does have a lot of friends there. İlkay Gündoğan, João Cancelo, Ferran Torres. Okay, but again, there's Rafinha. They already have Rafinha, and they have Lamine Yamal. They are not going to be wasting Lamine Yamal's potential in bringing in a 30-year-old. Barcelona, this is not the type of player that Barcelona needs. And if any Barcelona fan is watching me right now, please let me know in the comments down below what you think of this. If I can speak for you, I don't really want to speak for you, but just, hypothetical as a fan of City, if I was a Barcelona fan, I really wouldn't want Bernardo Silva. There's so many other better options, not in terms of quality, but younger options that can give you more years, and in places that you need more reinforcements, especially that striker position, especially that left wing position. Ferran Torres is not doing it. Ansu Fati is gone. Again, they need better reinforcements in other areas. I don't think Bernardo Silva coming in and playing in the midfield, taking away minutes from Gavi, from Fermin Lopez, from Frenkie de Jong, and especially Pedri, is going to do them any justice in the future. So let's look at this from a hypothetical situation where Bernardo Silva leaves. We get £50 million. No disrespect, but if that's from Barcelona, we're not going to be getting that £50 million until 2085. So we can't rely on the funds now. Who are we going to have to replace him? Now, Bernardo Silva is an attacking midfielder, workhorse. The kilometers that he covers every single game is absolutely staggering. He's a workhorse. He runs like a gazelle up and down the field for days. He has one of the players with the most incredible amount of stamina I've seen in the Premier League for years. Obviously, with Lucas Paqueta's situation, it should be resolved very soon, and we should get an answer. If that is resolved, do we get him to replace Bernardo Silva? Lucas Paqueta, I think, is 26, 27 years old, so he can give us... He's definitely the right caliber of player that we go for. Here's the thing. It's going to cost us a lot of money, and it's West Ham. And City fans love West Ham fans. Just go on Twitter and you'll find out. But look, Lucas Paqueta would probably cost around 85 million pounds if we're being realistic. And Bernardo Silva is going to be leaving for 50, so that's plus 30. I think that's a good deal. Again, if it was up to me, I'd keep Bernardo Silva for another couple of years. Game time and the money is a huge issue there. He's not going to be guaranteed game time in Barcelona, even though he would be their best player. it would be in Barcelona's best interest, and I'm being unbiased here, to play Lamine Yamal instead of Bernardo Silva as I. So that begs the question, where else is he going to play? Is he going to play up top? No, there's Lewandowski. Left wing is a position that he could play. But again, 5'8" midfielder, attacking midfielder, so experienced on the right-hand side and as an attacking player. Putting him on that left wing spot is not realistic. I'm not saying he can't do it. His weak foot is incredible. His passing ability is incredible. His intelligence is incredible. He can do it. But again, it's not realistic. And so the next options are the midfield. Again, Pedri, Gavi, Fermin Lopez, Frankie de Jong, Ilkay Gundogan. They might be bringing in other reinforcements. There are obviously going to be other players in the academy that I'm not even talking about. It's not a worthwhile option in my opinion. So unless some other team goes in for him, I think he should stay. So let me know what y'all think.